I've flown to Guilin in Guangxi province, where some of China's most classic scenery is to be found. As economic progress transforms the landscape of China, it's easy to forget that there are still 750 million subsistent peasant farmers and their families. The paddy fields of Longsheng are known as the Dragon's Backbone and stretch 12 miles along these peaks. This is home to the Zhuang people, China's largest minority group at just over 1% of the population. For centuries, Guangxi's remoteness and challenging terrain kept it poverty-stricken, and life is still tough for its farmers. But these are dramatic landscapes, and I've decided to make the 40-mile journey from Guilin to Yangzhou by boat along the legendary Li River. These extraordinary peaks provide an unmissable draw for today's more intrepid travellers. And amongst my fellow passengers are backpackers Dan, Abby and... This river is undoubtedly one of China's national treasures, and it seems somehow familiar to me. But as another of my fellow passengers pointed out, that's not actually very surprising.
Your seat of view.
That's exactly where we are. I've been carrying this view around in my wallet for the past 3.5 weeks. Understandably, this scenery also inspires the local artists. You enjoy painting?
Yeah, sure. Because this is my job.
Ah.
Yeah, because a lot of people come as Chinese Picasso.
You're the Chinese Picasso?
Yeah, #1 in Yangzhou.
Are you?
He's maybe my teacher.
Oh, is he?
Right.
It turned out painting wasn't Mr. Picasso's only passion.
Coming for to carry me home.
I know that song, that's good.
Yeah.
Yes. Stick to the art, that's my advice. But soon, it wasn't just Mr. Picasso's singing that was shattering the peace. Seemingly out of nowhere, a whole flotilla of tour boats arrived. Shut up! So too loud! Quieter! I can understand the Li River would be on the tourist trail, but I had no idea of the scale of it. This is a completely different atmosphere. All these massive, well, one after another. There's about sort of 50-yard gap between these tourist boats. Everybody's inside eating rather than being on the outside enjoying the tranquility of the occasion. I said the tranquility of the atmosphere that's around here. And it's not just Westerners either. Domestic tourism has begun to boom in China. After years of poverty and restriction on travel, the Chinese are finally exploring their own country. Over 10 million of them travel to this area every year. Hello! Hello, goodbye! Goodbye! I can't blame them, but it's nonetheless a disappointment to discover I'm not the intrepid traveller I thought I was.
Hey, piece of poor, you look.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Good.
There's certain desperation's been caught there, I think. This is Yangshu, once a quiet village, but now swollen into a modern, rather brash resort by the vast influx of tourists. But Emma has assured me we're booked into one of the best hotels. But the countryside surrounding Yangshu is still totally untouched. It's quite spectacular, and you don't have to travel far to be in true rural China. Beep, beep. Thank you. While Emma has taken the lazy option and travelled by car to meet me in a local village, I've decided to go native. Incredible. Only half an hour's bike ride from Yangshu, and I seem to have cycled back 100 years. I can't help noticing that it's only the older generation who are working the land. I presume that the young have all left for the big cities to try and earn better money in the factories. Afternoon. This rather beautiful looking place is Jishuan village.
How's your ride?
Yeah, good. I nearly hit a bullock.
Okay, let me introduce. This is Mr. Mao, one of the village.
欢迎你们到国民参观。好。
He's going to basically show us around.
Oh,
咱们
fantastic.
就走啊。
Okay, great.
Sober.
Thank you. Mr. Mao has discovered he can make some pocket money explaining the history of his village to the occasional visitor.
Oh, he's going to make a hat for us.
Make a hat.
For
这是第一
you.
步动作
I think.
是这样转的。
This apparently was their secret weapon against the Japanese when they invaded China back in the 30s.
哎
It's not my side, but small.
哎，很漂亮。这个就是我们当年
Do you feel
在
very
海南
cooling?，
这个帽子我们当年在海南。
It feels like I've got a
当兵
tight circle of leaves on my head.
戴上这个帽子。
The flies,
Eh.
I mean, they won't see you with this
Yes.
hat on. Protect yourself.
Oh, so airplanes above won't see you, is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yes,
see.
that's
Okay. Okay, it's lovely. Okay, do you want to try this? You try
Okay.
that.
帮我拿一下。漂亮吗？
But that looks better on you than it probably did on me. That's good. That's very good. I feel like I'm in a weird version of The Wizard of Oz. Shall we follow the yellow brick road?
Yes. 走了。我怎么觉得我的帽子在往下掉呀？
Jishuan village was the former county seat of Yangshu, and some of the village dates back to the Qing dynasty, which spanned from the 17th to the 19th century.
这个是离系宗祠。
Although this old county hall was stripped bare during the Cultural Revolution, the building still stands in its original form. How old is this building?
这个有多少年的历史？
这里有500年历史了，这个祠堂。
500 years.
500